Good evening, everyone. We'll start with BBC Radio Leicester in the in-stream.
Commentary box, I know you've been busy, I won't keep you long. Your debrief seemed to last quite a while in the dressing room down there before you came and spoke to the media. Have you had a few things to say to your players tonight?
Yeah, we're disappointed with that, Ian, to be honest. We counter-pressing and mistakes we made in the first half gave us an uphill climb for the second half. For the second half, we had a lot more of the ball, but lacked creativity. So no, we made a go of it, and with Harvey's goal at the end. But yeah, I thought Fulham deserved to win it. They were had more energy in the first half, and pounced on our mistakes, which were disappointing. And then the second half, they dropped in deep, and we couldn't break them down. So yeah, disappointing evening for us.
Did they react best to your system, Brendan? 3 at the back, or 5 at the back, obviously, with wing backs. How much credit do they deserve for seeing your system and exploiting it?
Yeah, I think it's more to do with ourselves, really. We knew whatever system Fulham were going to play, they'd be compact and tight in their half of the pitch. They understand we've got speed and can threaten the back line, but first half, the speed in our game and the creativity in our game wasn't there. But more importantly for us, that sort of defensive counter press wasn't there. So in the 2 moments they broke out in the second half, we made it. We broke out of our press, and then they go away, and then we make a mistake when we try to press the ball and it gets played in behind. And then obviously the second one they get out and we make a rash challenge. So yeah. Second half, then, like I say, or in the first half, we weren't as creative. Second half was a little bit better, Ian, but but didn't show enough quality. So overall, it was they deserved to win, and we have to go away and analyse that, and as I said, have a greater mindset in a game like that.
And mistakes creeping in, Brendan. We saw some mistakes in Braga, obviously some mistakes, albeit against the champions Liverpool last weekend. Why do you feel that mistakes are starting to creep into your side at this stage?
Well, I think that you can't get away from the fact that the players up until this point have done absolutely terrific, considering the level of our and the quality of the defensive players that we've had out missing. I think we've been able to patch that up and work a system that has allowed us to defend reasonably well. But like you say, the last few games, we haven't defended as well and just made mistakes, and we've got punished for it. So we've got to get back to the basics. That's so important. And as we've seen tonight, any team in the division can punish you if you're not right on your game and you make mistakes. It can cost you.
And is one of your mistakes, and you say this on a regular basis to us, Brendan, but passing with a purpose, that seemed to be lacking tonight. You often say to us, if you pass the ball, I want to see you pass it with a purpose. That seemed to be a bit of a struggle tonight for you as well. Yeah,
we weren't moving it fast enough, and it was all quite nice, but not fast enough and not cutting enough. So, like I say, I think the second half was a bit better. The introduction of Chenga and Harvey helped us. When the ball went out, they could take people on and go and combine to get in behind. So that definitely helped us. But like you say, it's a young team, and at times they play young. And I think that this evening, I thought Johnny Evans was outstanding, played like a man. Casper always does. But we played young tonight, and that's something that we're constantly looking to improve on.
And a lot of football for some of your players. I'm not singling one in particular out. Christian Fuchs has played lots of football. You mentioned Johnny Evans has played lots of football. And as we sit here, Brendan, on Monday night at 8 o'clock, you've got to be in the Ukraine on Thursday. Have you got options to bring players back from injury? Is there a possibility of resting some players and bringing some back? If so, who?
Yeah. Well, we're hopeful that Ricardo to play, Wolf to play, and we're hoping that Cags can play as well. So that'll be a huge boost for us, these guys coming back. I don't think Timothy will be ready for that game, but we'll see where he's at the end of the week. but like I say, the boys have up until now, we've shown, you know, in lots of games where we played really well. Games like tonight, off the back of a European game, it was tough for us. We didn't perform, and we have to look at that and analyse that where we can be better. Maybe a little bit of energy there, but it doesn't matter. But certainly the players coming back will really help us, and because they're top players.
Last one from me, Brendan, if you wouldn't mind. Set pieces and the delivery of. I thought it was quite telling that Genghis Under took a corner late on. And listen, James Maddison, ordinarily from the dead ball situation, he's made a career of, although a very young player, out of being so strong from delivery of set pieces. But do they seem to be lacking as well? Do they seem to be lacking at just, and I know quality, it's fine margins, but just in my view, I've seen a lot of your team clearly. Set pieces don't seem as on the money as they did maybe parts of last season, Brendan. Is that a fair comment, do you feel?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Delivery in the first contact is something that hasn't been there for us. Something that we need to be better in. Absolutely, for sure. So no, it's a fair comment.
Thanks for your time, Brendan. Thanks for your honesty. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Thank you.
Folks, can take a couple more if there's anything further.
I've just got a couple of questions.
Okay, Jordan.
Jordan or JD, did you say? I just got a couple of questions. Brendan.
Okay, right, yeah, go on, far away.
Yeah, Brendan, just for me, you talk about sort of the mistakes that you're seeing, individual mistakes that's creeping into your game, which you're being very honest about, which is good, and expect nothing less from you. But I also look at the amount of games that you've played in this month and add an international break into that as well. Do you feel like fatigue is an element? How many of your players would you turn around and say are probably playing above the sort of standard in terms of the red zone that they wouldn't usually be in the sort of?
Yeah, but there's probably quite a few. There's a lot of, we're playing a lot of games, but it's what we want. It's, you know, we had a very good season last season, which gave us European football, and the only way you're going to improve and develop is by, you know, playing games, finding that robustness, you know, to go away in a midweek and come back and get another result. And like you say, the obviously the international break, you know, a number of our players are playing at in that level as well. So there's no doubt I can see one or two players that sometimes do struggle with that energy in the third game, you know. So, but like I say, we know where it's at. You know, we'll make changes again. That's all we've done throughout the season up until now, and in the main that's worked well for us. So yeah, it's tough, it's physical, but eventually the players will improve and be better for it.
I think my final one to you is a bit of a wider question, but like I said, you've managed all around the world. You're well respected in this game, so it's important to ask you as well the consistent issue we're seeing now about head injuries and maybe the adaptations we can maybe make in the game. We saw what happened to Raul Jimenez last night in terms of at Arsenal. I just wanted to get your opinion, because it is an ongoing conversation now about whether or not we should change football altogether.
Well, I think certainly from the incident last night and some of the previous ones, I think it's a very valid point. Concussion, like you say, you know, you heard the collision last night. It was awful, and hopefully Raul Jimenez recovers well from his operation. I think there's definitely a question there to be asked around concussion sub. You know, that possibility of Mikel being able to take David Luiz off without feeling he's got to rush him back in for that 10-15 minute period, similar to what they will do in rugby. And then if he passes the tests and everything in terms of balance and coordination and vision, if he passes those and is able to go on, then great. So I think it's definitely something that can be looked at in the game, and because ultimately the health of the player is what's most important.
Thank you for your honesty tonight, and also the wider question.
No worries, thank you.
Thank you, JD. We'll go to Jordan for the last one, please.
Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Jordan.
Can I just ask a question about the system you've been using? Obviously, you've had this back three for a while now, and you've seen some success with it. Was it a system that was born out of the injuries, the defensive injuries that you had at the start of the season, or was it something you always wanted to implement?
Yeah, I think I've always like the flexibility to be able to play out of a couple of systems. And in the main, especially with the players that we had injured, that was a system that I felt could work well for us. Wesley Fofana coming in, like you see tonight when we went to when we went to a back four, in the second half, where the spacing was totally different for him. He's played all his career in a back three. So yeah, tonight wasn't really about systems. You know, I like my teams to have fluidity and aggression and domination in whatever system they play. Tonight was really our counter pressing, our aggression just wasn't quite there in the first half, and we made mistakes. And it was nothing to do with the system. Second half we changed it. It was a little bit better for us, more of the ball, get into better areas. We just couldn't quite find the quality. So it's something that we need to be flexible with. You know, you need it more than one way, more than one system, I believe. Unless you are the very, very, very top team where you've got some of the world-class players all around your squad. For us, we're always searching, and up until now, it's worked well for us.
Can I just ask quickly on Castagna? Is it still his hamstring?
Yes, yeah. So he's making good progress, and we'll see where he's at the end of the week.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Cheers, guys. See ya.
Thank you.